Hey friends, I'm Stephanie, and back in April, I bought this van to turn into my new tiny home on wheels. My pets and I have been living in a Tesla for nearly 3 years, so it is high time for us to have a little more space. When I picked her up, the van already had a bit of a build inside, but I have been daydreaming about living in a van for years now, so I wanted to do a little bit of a renovation to bring that vision to life. This is what the original build looked like, and I did post a part 1 to my little van build adventure, so if you're interested in seeing the beginning steps, definitely go and check that one out. My uncle and I are tackling this build ourselves, so we started by ripping everything out down to the insulation before rebuilding. Once we had all of the reframing done, the rest of the build came along really quickly. We got this beautiful new floor laid, and my uncle got the electrical set up for me. And then we tackled the wall panels. We ended up using both glue and screws, and so we braced everything to make sure that it dried properly, which gave me lots of time to whitewash the ceiling. We left the braces up on the walls for a full 24 hours to make sure that everything dried properly, and then we moved along to the bed. My dog Snow is also a big fan of dens, so I decided to build him his own little spot underneath the bed. The boys hadn't spent a lot of time in the van yet, so at this point we had everything covered in the van to a point where there wasn't anything dangerous for them in it, and I decided to take them for a little run up to a forestry road so that we could test everything out. Even though the build was nowhere near finished, it felt so good to get out and get a little taste of what our new life would be like. My aunt made a little picnic and even a fresh loaf of sourdough to bring with me, which was so much fun. And the boys seemed to settle in right away. Finley found a little spot on the passenger seat that he decided he liked. And Snow, as usual, was just happy to be included. I also brought along a little box of some of my camping gear, including this blanket and my beloved solo stove, because we had some little wood pieces that needed used up somehow, and I decided a fire would be the perfect way to do that. As beautiful as it was out here, we don't have a bed fully installed yet, so we just stayed until it got dark and then headed back to my aunt and uncle's house, where we got back to building the next day. I got right back to building the bed, and my uncle added all of my wall outlets. I have 3 total, and then 3 extra on the inverter itself. And by the end of the day, I also had a bed. Coming in from the back doors, this little spot is going to be Finley's litter box area and some extra storage, but we also had a little space to use above the rear wheel well, so I turned that into a laundry chute. Living in the car, both his litter and my laundry were kind of annoying to deal with, so it was really important to me to have designated spots for both in this build. The boys get along really well, so the entrance to Finley's litter is actually in Snow's den, and I put it at the very back of the build so that all I had to do to clean it was open one of the rear doors. Also high on my list was a partition wall that should help in the case of an accident so that I don't get hit by any flying projectiles, hopefully. Originally, I was envisioning more of a full wall, but the van came with a swivel passenger seat already installed, and I decided I didn't want to lose that feature, so I went with a little 2-foot wall behind the driver's seat instead. Because of all the funky shapes in the van, I made a cardboard cutout of the space first, and then we traced it onto plywood to get a pretty tight fit. Once the wall was in, we secured the cupboards, which I am so excited about. There's going to be a ton of storage space in here, and then also fit the countertop to size. I hadn't used a jigsaw before this project, and I've always heard that they're kind of tough to deal with, but I love this little tool, so I cut out the hole for the sink with it, and we also saved the excess to make a little cutting board. In my last video, I mentioned that I really wanted to go with dark flooring, and I didn't do that because I didn't want to see Snow's hair all over the place, but I did want to bring some dark wood in somewhere, so I stained the countertop this beautiful dark walnut. Over the years, I found a lot of great places to fill up my little water jug, so I also wanted to keep a pretty simple system so that I could continue using that method. I also wanted an easy place to store some of my high-use items, so we added a little shelf above the cabinets, and with that, the build was finished. The boys and I headed back up to our forestry road because I wanted to stay close to my aunt and uncle's in case anything went wrong, but she looks absolutely fabulous. I am so excited about how this turned out. boy. Good boy, Finn. Hello. You just had to come see what we were doing? I'm giving everyone a small tour of your van. Yes, I am. Oh, thank you. You are so sweet. I can't believe how homey this little van is already feeling. I cannot wait to take her on more adventures, and the boys seem to be loving her too. I still have plans to add a few more things eventually, like AC, a heater, and a fridge, but for now, RoxVanne is complete. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and follow because I will be back very soon with a full van tour video showing you all the little details that we put in here.